It was a gorgeous day outside, the enigma of a day with reduced probability of tragedy akin to Oedipus 360 quick no-scoping his father and donging his mother. The birds were vocalizing the sweet melody of ear-splitting warbling of Nickelback-level glass shattering, and the sun was like a beacon in the sky, supplementing the wondrous morning atmosphere with mellow light and cancer-inducing UV rays. Nora knew that Ren was not a morning person, so sometimes she just tried to make the morning fun for him. Today she was naked and pouring pillowy mounds of maple syrup all over his large Asian morning wood. She stroked the embiggening dong, continuing to swell and harden like a metapod as the sticky maple syrup dribbled down to his tiny Chinese scrotum and gooch. For some odd reason, Ren woke up, choosing not to count the sheep of his dreams jumping over the metaphorical fence of his imagination, and instead slaughtering them and selling the bodies to the black market for meats. Nora ascended Ren's hips like a dark god, resting his buttocks upon his steel throne in the underworld, and firmly planted Ren's raging, sugary dong with the passion of 1,000 Dr. Oobleck straight into her quivering womanhood. Careful not to let the acidic maple syrup damage her satanic ovaries, the gates that one day would release her brood and ruin everything.
I'm queen of the castle! I'm queen of the castle!
Nora shouted as she wrecked herself before checking herself with Ren's syrup-baptized serpent while shoving a large golden chess piece into her shitter. As Nora accelerated to Mach 69, Ren launched his white-colored sticky as syrup egg fertilizer curd at high RWBY speed level velocity out of his urethral opening, landing a direct hit into Nora's syrup-encrusted vagina. Nora gasped, poked Ren in the nose and said, "Boop." Ren said nothing, stoic as the cliffside of the sea, as mentally handicapped sailors crashed into it, the jagged rocks rendering their skin and splintering their bones, leaving them helpless as the dark sea claimed them, and they descended to the depths, never being heard from again. Nora got off Ren, removing his satisfied morning wood and standing, a Mao Zedong, stepping down from leadership. Nora proceeded to suckle on Ren's dong in order to prevent the spread of sexually transmitted diseases towards herself, such as hepatitis M and Ebola, and to make sure that Nora's god-desecrating ovaries would not cause Ren to become pregnant, thus forcing her to pay child support and never have intimate sexual moments for the next 18 years. With the superb timing of John on his period, Karn trespassed the dorm of Juniper in the vain hopes of getting a discreet viewing of Pura's shapely gladiator ass. The scenario parallel to a greater time in the golden 1930s when Richard Nixon stormed the Gamergate Hotel in the pursuit of free porn. But the hotel was hosting a furry convention, causing the creatures of Grimm to be born from his testicles and him losing the presidency. Like Nixon, Karn is not a crook. Instead, Karn's eyes beheld Ren's almighty horsecock. Despite Ren's testosterone-fueled bully rampages, his insistence that Velvet cried when he forced his feeble can opener into her crapple, when in reality, Velvet's ass was laughing at him, and in his blustering, Ren's dog would MLG 1v1 dust wreck Karn's. Karn's weird-ass mace weapon was chosen subconsciously in an effort to escape reality and compensate for his tiny tiddlywinker. Tears flowing down his cheeks, Karn turned to leave the room.
"It's no use!"
Nora shouted in the name of President King Arthur as she ejaculated syrup from her pink onto the floor, the sweet adhesive binding Karn's large ham-shaped. Ren walked into the hallway as Nora used her hammer to break Karn's legs, the bone support structures crumbling like twin towers. His screams were hilarious. With his legs now out of operation, Karn was no longer able to stand upright and fell to the floor, only his arms able to keep his torso aloft, away from the repulsive acidic mixture of maple syrup and Nora's demonic fuck juices, currently binding and blistering his knees. In his vulnerable state, Ren easily shoved his moist god-slaying dick into Karn's conscientiously protesting angel passage, while Nora shattered Karn's teeth with her boobs of steel and stole his wallet.
"Oh, it's broken!"
Nora pouted as she tore off Karn's jaw, and he began to choke on his blood. Particles of syrup and Nora's snatch voice had dripped from Karn's recently massacred ass shells onto his scrotum, causing several bulbous bleeding blisters to erupt. Chunky blocks of fecal matter spewed out of Carden's nostrils as his rectum was wrecked, and his throat was currently occupied by Nora's foot, leaving the shit nowhere else to run. Ren came, and Nora cracked Karn's skull open while whacking it with a grenade. The grenade exploded, blowing Karn's interior body to vicious giblets while leaving Nora and Ren unharmed and sanitizing Ren's erect whomper. In order to hide the evidence, Nora picked up all the little pieces of Karn and gave him a proper burial in the toilet. Ren was pleased. Nora took a nap. To be continued, because my stupid fucking cat decided she wanted to be in the room while I was recording. Fuck you, Snickers, you cunt.